Hello and welcome back to another Fragpunk video, bringing you one of my favorite kinds of content, tips, tricks and the kind of stuff you probably didn't know. This is the second edition and I gotta say, huge thanks for the love on the first one. We crushed the 500 subscription goal and now we are shooting for the 1000. And with your help we'll get there. Before we start, I just want to give a warm welcome to all the console players who might be jumping into Fragpunk world. I hope you find these tips helpful too. And as usual, if you're enjoying this content, don't forget to drop a like and smash that subscribe button. Let's get into it! Before jumping to the tips, let's quickly talk for a few about the game mode Chaos Clash. If I'm not mistaken, this mode was already there to be picked, but probably a bit hidden in the menu. Same than the previous event Blitz Ballet, you can win a nice skin if you play enough. This mode becomes interesting as it pushes you away from your comfort zone, by forcing you to use a different lancer than what you might use as a main, also because both friends and foes must use the same random guns, and because you need to remember the cards that are in place, which will stack till the end of the match. It's a nice mode to warm up. I think it's fun, and everything that helps you to train skills, I really welcome it. Warm-ups are important, and Fragpunk has a way to encourage you to do it before jumping straight to competitive mode. This number you see here after playing a regular match or a competitive match, it is a protection for your rank points. You can accumulate a maximum of 30 protection points, which means when losing a match it will deduct from this first. There are two ways of winning this protection, by winning a competitive match or by playing a regular match, despite if you win or lose. But keep in mind that this could change in the future. I remember that you were able to get these protection points by also waiting in the scrimmage mode. Warm-up helps you to be prepared for a match on which your enemies probably are already in the zone, and gives you a chance to maintain your rank. Can we stop for a second and recognize that Bad Guitar Studio is a great development team? This idea and many others proves me that this dev team loves what they do.
Bad Guitar Studio.
Best gaming studio ever. I take my hat off to you. Tip number 2. This really is not a tip for you to do, but to prevent you to be a victim of it. Take a look what is about to happen. Still in preparation mode, Nitro wall over here, boom! My teammate died and the round didn't even started.
Bad Guitar Studio. Son of a bitch.
So again, this is bug abuse. Clearly it's not right that you could kill somebody before the round starts. If you have an enemy Nitro in the map Arcade, be careful, because most likely all Nitro mains knows about this bug. A second important thing is that you can see enemies before the round starts. Nitro walls lets you see enemies, but at least you can't shoot them as the barrier prevents it. But as soon as the barrier goes away, Nitro could have a clear advantage. Nitro is not the only one able to abuse the round preparation. I noticed Pathojen is also able to pass her poison abilities over the barrier. On this case, the poison will land in front of the barrier in middle. If somebody pushes as soon as the barrier opens, then they will get some damage due to this. This bug, it seems to work in both ways. Even if you are defending, you can find spots that lets you throw abilities to the other side. The rule seems to be that the barrier should not be in front of you. On this example, I'm throwing the poison over the barrier, but in this case it does not matter what I do, it will bounce back into the side. Pathojen can also kill before the round starts. It's like a counter to Nitro's abusive wall in top B. If Pathojen gets on top of this part of the wall, then a lineup more or less like this will land on top of B side and will kill the enemy that is standing in the balcony. Take a look what I'm doing here in the round preparation. It is raining secondary guns. In case you didn't know, you can press middle click over a gun in the buy menu to drop it super quickly. Everybody knows these projectile guns are great, but probably you are not abusing these as you should. In this round I didn't even saw the enemies. I killed 2 and won the round by simply making it rain with blast projectiles. You can get 8 of these guns per half on the match, 16 in total. So you should abuse this tip, especially when you are about to switch sides or to end the match. In the map Arcade, in both sides, blast projectiles usually takes a few frags when enemies tries to push. Fire works as well. You can set up the default plant spot on fire or just simply set the curve on fire. Do you know which other curve it's on fire? Smokes are also a good alternative. If enemies doesn't like to push smokes, they will lose valuable seconds on the round waiting for it to dissipate. Consider this especially if you have the TikTok card or the bullet upgrade. So yeah, I can guarantee you will win a round by yourself if you abuse this tip enough. Tip number 4. In the map Donctian, it is very common that enemies plant the spike,
The spike? What?
Fragloran.
the converter, in the default spot in front of the main path. If by any chance you are in middle and you have chances to press the button to turn the revolving doors, then do it. And here's why. When the doors turns around, the converter will turn as well, changing its position, making it inaccessible from main. If enemies are guarding the converter from main, then their post-plant strategy is ruined. In addition, most of the traps breaks when they are placed in the path of the door. While doing this, keep in consideration that you will arrive to the site from short, and there are high chances to find an enemy running like crazy to get the converter inside again. Plan your strategy accordingly. Tip number 5. As any other game, Fragpunk has this common rule that switching to a secondary gun is always faster than reloading. It also has an animation like if it's preparing the gun, which is basically a delay. What you probably didn't notice is that this animation happens only if it's the first time you equip the gun, or if you equipped the knife. See, on this example the animation happens all the time because I constantly equip the knife. But if you swap from primary to secondary, there is no delayed penalty at all, so if you switch to your secondary by mistake, go back to the primary without hesitation. The secondary guns which has utility won't have this problem though. Those can be equipped and used almost instantly. Empty guns will not perform the animation as well, which is a good detail.
Stay tuned for my converter planting tutorial.
As on our side, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll give you 2 rules that you probably don't know about planting the converter, because these are not the same than in any other game. The first rule, I'm sure by now you realize that when enemies dies, you can't plant the converter any longer, which is a shame because you lose to win some extra points. This is quite situational, but keep in mind that if you start planting and the last enemy dies in the meantime, you will be able to continue the planting. So don't stop planting the converter for anything in the world. Focus on the mission and get those tasty points. The second rule is related to the remaining time in the round. In most games, if the clock hits 0 and you haven't planted, that's it, round over and you lose. But not in Fragpunk. Here, as long as you start planting with at least 2 seconds left, you are good. Even if the timer runs out while you are in mid-plant, it still lets you finish, as long as you don't cancel it. So don't panic if you are cutting it close, just commit and go for it. Do you see what my teammate is doing now?
Life is as satisfying as
A lot of noise.
And vents are probably the worst place to make this amount of noise. You have no room to escape at all. My strategy here is to do a little bit of extra noise so the enemy thinks we are more than one in the vent. But a better approach is to go in stealth mode. Did you know that the ropes can be climbed silently and the speed is almost the same? In order to do this, you just need to press walk, not crouch. Simply keep pressing walk while you attach to the rope. Just keep in consideration there are 2 behaviors here. While playing the match, you can attach and climb the rope without making any sound, except at the end. It will do a small detachment sound. When playing duels, this behavior changes. There won't be any sound at all except for a tiny footstep at the end that could be confused with any other step or jump. It works the same for the ziplines you have in the ceiling. Almost all the lancers has a headwear on which the decoration seems bigger than the effect caused by the big head shirt card. But as a game developer I have this obvious question: does these headwears affect the hitbox in any way? Let's test it out. You can see here side by side the same video, with and without the headwear settings turned on. With this test we can confirm that the hitbox are not altered whatsoever. That would be a crazy bug if it would. But the distraction it causes is huge. It looks fun, but clearly is quite misleading. It feels you landed the shot when in reality you are just hitting a decoration. If by mistake you activated these settings, you can disable them by changing these options here in the general section. Did this ever happen to you? You think you landed a shot in the chest, but then the enemy didn't die. And what is worst, after checking the damage report, it tells that you hit a limb. This could happen for any gun. There is an interesting behavior here regarding shots to the limbs. As you can see on this example, a sniper shot at 8 meters should be a secure kill. But if you hit the arms of the enemy, it does not take the expected damage. In other games, the arms counts as chest, but not here, the arms will count same as legs, so the damage will be reduced if you hit the arms. But there is an exception to this rule. Take a look what happens when the arm is in the path of the chest. In this case, you could consider the bullet penetrated the arm and went straight to the chest, so it will apply the full damage like if you hit the chest directly. So keep that in consideration. When your enemy is in front of you, your spread could trick you and you might hit the arm of the enemy. But if the enemy is sideways, of course you will hit the arm first, but it will count as a chest. It's an interesting feature. Kudos to Bad Guitar Studio for this one. And that's it for this episode. If you got this far, thanks a lot, and remember to drop a like to help the channel to grow. See you in the next one. Bye bye!